Alright, this is going to be the replay review for Montreal Osaka, or XD, the OD. So this is a 3.1k Legend 1 offlane slash carry player. And this is a... okay, so he's playing mid, he's learning mid on a different account, a Crusader 3, which I think is fine. So this game, you said you did well mid, decided against going Meteor Hammer because you didn't think it'd be good against the puck, and they had stuns to stop the channel. And you said that without it, you guys didn't have a lot of tower push, which I would agree with. Your team is not that good at hitting towers. Puck pressured the side lanes, and I responded, but I fed a big lead. I was fighting there, and I died to a smoked Witch Doctor when fighting for the power rune. Game draws out, and I win with Blink Hex. The main thing is, how can I take mid-game fights better here? And then the Null Talisman change favors OD a ton, but the win rate is bad in pro-level pubs. I don't know, you mean like the win rate of Null Talisman on OD? Is that what you're talking about? I don't really, how do you even look at that? On Dota 2 Pro Tracker, just to show real quick, the top item build is 2 nulls. So the win rate of the hero is bad, but most people go 2 nulls. That's what I'm seeing here. Even 3, 1, 2. Okay, this guy's 0, 3, or 2. Yeah, most people are getting nulls. So seems like fine for the hero. Like you said, it kind of makes sense. So yeah, I'm just gonna review this and call out what I see and let's take a look. So you're going for the blocks, you're going for the runes. That's fine.
Oh, that's very nice.
Yeah, really nice block. So you go Q level 1. I don't think. Hold on. So I don't play a lot of OD. I don't play a lot of mid. I don't play a lot of OD. I don't play any OD really. Well, it looks like starting Q is like the build. So never mind. I was gonna say, don't you start E, but you do not. Pretty much everybody starts Q and usually goes second point W according to Dota 2 Pro Tracker. So this is fine. Just helps you secure creeps. I thought like maybe it was like the old you get Astral to like prevent him from last hitting, but I guess the creep secure of the Q with the extra damage is just too good. And it costs less mana, and you can use it more often, so this makes sense. Okay, sort of mistimed that, yeah, when you have lower mana, this does less damage. So like when you're going for the last hit, you kind of have to take into account, like if you have low mana, this is really not going to add a whole lot. That's what happened there. Like you like try to get that range creep, and if you had full mana, it probably would have worked. But without full mana, it did not. But okay, you're CSing pretty well, so that's why I'm not really saying a whole lot, because you're not messing anything up. This puck's not playing particularly well. It's nice using your E to get denies. Your hero doesn't really farm like the small camp or anything, at least not this early, so there's not really anything else you look to do other than dominate the CS, which is what you're doing. So I like what you're doing so far. This puck's just throwing out random Qs, which is really making his life hard. Like he's not using his Qs as CS, and like you can just dodge them, so so I haven't seen you going for the rune. I think this other water rune's still here. I guess this guy doesn't have a bottle yet. Normally, it's really important to like just grab one of the runes just so that they like don't get both. But I guess this guy's CS is so bad he doesn't have a bottle. But like normally, like against good players, like better players, this guy will have had a bottle, and like you need to get one of these runes so that he doesn't get both. Like you can't really prevent him from getting one, but you can definitely prevent him from getting both. So you need to look to do that. Like, even if you don't need the rune, right? Like, you just go and, like, grab it so that he doesn't get it. Because, like, at this rate, he might get his bottle, and then he might go get the other rune, and then you just, like, give him 2 free bottle charges plus the water rune itself, which he really doesn't deserve. It looks like Meteor Hammer isn't that popular in Dota 2 Pro Tracker. I don't think it's like bad, but it's probably not must buy. And you maybe do want to like kind of judge whether you want it based on like if you think you can like push towers. So it's not just like, do I need to push towers, but it's like, do I think that like I'll be able to like push towers, you know? So like if your lane's like going really well like this and you're feeling strong, like maybe you're like, oh yeah, like I can probably just hit towers because I'm gonna be like really far ahead, versus like if your lane's not going so hot, it's like, well, I'm probably not gonna get a good opportunity to like sit here and hit towers. So then maybe in that scenario it's like not as good. So you do go the triple null. This just isn't common. It's so like it's like at what cost is this triple null, right? Like I just have Dota 2 Pro Tracker open on the side. Let me just pull it open so like we can like look at it together. You know, I'm seeing like which rule is mid? Mid is this bow and arrow one, so I guess not a lot of OD mid is being played. So this is like double null into treads, into a triple null, into blink, pike, and hex. This other mid is double null, wand, treads, witchblade. I'm seeing a lot of other witchblades on these like off lane ODs mostly, or even some like, it says safe lane OD. I guess people are running safe lane OD right now. I don't know. So like the nulls into like treads, witchblade are good. That seems to be like kind of the build if you're not going Meteor Hammer. So given that that's the case, it's like, what is the opportunity cost of getting this like third null, right? Especially if you're getting a wand, like wand and 3, you know, like, because at some point, like if you itemize like how these pros are doing, right? You're gonna have a wand, you're gonna have 3 nulls, you're gonna have treads, and you're gonna have a witchblade, and then you're gonna have no slots for your, you know, whether it's for your BKB, 4 staff, or whatever. So you just kind of run out of slots. So I think that's why you wouldn't go 3 nulls and a wand. Like maybe it's good if you're gonna skip wand, and if you're in a lane where you want wand, then maybe you just stick with 2, just because you'll just run out of slots. Like it's not good to have it for like such a short period of time before you like end up selling it. Like yeah, it'll be useful for like, you know, like a 8 to 10 minute window, but then it'll be like kind of a waste. So you are strong enough now to like be like farming the small camp if you want. I don't really mind if you're like staticking because this puck's getting like nothing, like you're crushing this puck. So I don't really mind that you're staticking a little bit, just because like he's getting nothing out of it. And he's not even using his Q to CS. So if you were in a more even matchup, I'd say like you can kind of just push it out and then go farm the small camp. So you're checking the rune at the time. I like it. You didn't have awards, you didn't know, and you guessed, which is okay. So you didn't get it, but at least you went for it. I liked it. That's really important. I like to see that. So I think you could be using this catapult to shove in here. Like this puck is like so weak. Like I think I would be like auto attacking this wave down to like try and like utilize my catapult to like do some tower pressure. Because like without going this Meteor Hammer builds, you're losing out on tower pressure. So like it's important to like utilize, like especially when you're this far ahead. Like if you're this far ahead, you need to be like trying to pressure the tower a little bit. Especially at this point, like, right? You're level 7. He's level, what, 5? Okay, probably just got 6. He's like 6.5. Okay, he's not that far behind somehow. Maybe he's in the small camp once or twice. But, like, you gotta, like, pressure the tower. Like, it's the point of playing mid. If you're winning, you need to pressure this tower. So, like, what I'm seeing right now, like, that you're walking away while you have this catapult, and you're kind of just letting this creep wave die, is that you're not really valuing like pressuring the mid tower at all. Like you're playing for your own game, which is good, but around the catapult timings, like you need to like translate that into like pressure on the tower. And you know, even if it's just shoving the one wave under the tower, Maybe you glyph it, maybe the second wave gets under while the catapult's still alive, and maybe you just get like 2 creep waves worth of hitting the catapult, and you do like 400 damage to this tower, or like 500. That's good enough, but you need to like go for something. Like you can't just go for no tower pressure. Like when you're this far ahead, you're basically just not translating. Like when you have a lead as mid, the most effective way to translate that into something tangible is damage or taking the mid tower. So if you're this far ahead and you're not damaging the mid tower at all, you're basically playing suboptimally. So hopefully you take that to heart on any mid hero you play. Like just when you're winning mid, like go watch any high MMR player. Like go watch a game where they win mid and watch how much damage they like. Watch how many times they like take the opportunity to like hit the mid tower and like shove the creep wave under it and hit the tower. Or like right now, you see this puck's not here. Like you just shove it under his tower and hit it. You go for the rune, so that's fine. I do like that you're checking the runes, being really good about it. It's Wish Shocked or TPs for this rune, so you're not going to get it. I do really like that you're like checking the runes on a regular basis. The Midas, I don't love it. Like I don't think it's bad on OD. I just don't think it's like in that good of a spot right now. And like again, like the Dota 2 Pro Tracker, like I don't see any Midases. Come on, I want to pull this over again. No Midases. No Midases. None. So this isn't, this isn't me knowing that Midas is bad. This is me looking at 10k, 9k, 8k MMR players and not seeing one single Midas bot by any of these players. So don't take it from me, take it from them. Midas, not a good purchase. Just get the Witchblade and just start right-clicking people down. Like you just kill people with the Witchblade. Also, remember, Witchblade scales off of int, and this hero likes to kind of stack int as well. So, like, it kind of, like, double dips on his, like, core concept of, like, max mana doing, like, mana doing damage, int doing damage, mana doing damage, kind of the same thing. I like that you're mixing the small camp a little bit now, but I'd prefer if you were hitting this tower. Really want to see you hitting this tower. Like this tower, the fact that it's taken like 300 damage, but you're ahead of this puck by 40 CS is insane. Like this tower should be a half HP or worse. And like, I'm not saying you need to have taken the tower by now, right? I'm just saying that you need to be casually and like regularly looking for instances to like hit this tower. Even if it's just with your like measly right clicks. You just need to translate your advantage into damage on the tower. Okay, so you're a little late to the rune here. But against a puck, it's pretty hard, so like I don't mind too much. Like in this matchup, I don't think you're gonna like be able to get a lot of runes. The only way you can do it is to be at the rune when it spawns and hope you get lucky. Like otherwise, he's just gonna beat you there. So I guess you were a little slow to that one, but if you'd gone for top, you wouldn't have gotten it anyways. So I know it's something you're thinking about, so just something to like keep in mind as the lane goes a little bit later. And here, again, this catapult needs to be important to you. The puck's not even here. Okay, so you're responding. I hope this works for you, but... Okay, so this doesn't work. I didn't really think it was going to. It would have been better if you had kept your mid siege creep alive here and not TP'd, and while this puck is doing whatever he's doing top, to just, like, pressure this tower super hard. Like, with this catapult alive here, like, if you had Midas their siege creep and, like, just right-clicked all their creeps down, like, you do a lot of damage to this tower right now. And this goes back to what I was saying before. The damage that you do to this tower matters so much, and... I mean, you're an OD. You're not really a hero that responds well to, like, their mid ganking, as you kind of see here. Like, you're just not having a super high impact here. Do you die? Yeah, you die. Yeah. So maybe this is just you not really understanding, like, the concept of, like, OD as a hero. You die with your Midas off cooldown. But, like, the point of this hero is, like, you get, like, really huge, and then you, like, you walk at people and, like, you know, try and get an advantage that way. And, like, basically you can just, like, be really oppressive, and, like, you're really strong, and you just show up and they're not expecting you, and then you're just, like, right-click, you're, like, chunking people for a third of their HP per right-click. You don't really respond to ganks that well, especially against, like, in heroes like Puck. Like, you just don't do a lot of damage to this Puck. Just, like, the way your heroes match up. You really need to minus the siege creep. Okay, you do. Nice. So, yeah, when you look to play OD, like, just focus on getting your CS, focus on pressuring the tower more. Don't worry so much about responding to these ganks, you know? Like, if you want to, like, do some sort of, like, gank, like, especially if you're going more, like, the Meteor Hammer style build, like, this game you said you didn't, but maybe some games you do, like, then you can, like, look to do that. But without Meteor Hammer, like, you really don't respond to ganks well. You just, like, farm and scale, and you get to a point where you, like, just do a billion HP per right click, and then you just fight them and you win. So, like, this play right here, I don't really understand what you're looking to do because, like, you don't have your ults, you have a Midas, you don't have your treads finished. I just want you to, like, kind of farm and, like, you know, chill. Because you don't even have your ult up. Kinda gonna work out. Lucky bash. Yeah, I mean, that worked out, but, like, I think there's just equal opportunity that didn't, and I'd rather you just kind of be farming. Like, you have a lot of CS, but you don't really have, like, with your items, like, Brown Boots, Midas, you just don't have a huge impact with the money you... Like, your build says, like, I'm building to be strong later, so, like, don't try and be strong now with no ulti. I feel like with this build, you'd want to get more points in your E sooner, no? I feel like you want to get more points in your E sooner, at least 1 or 2, so you're at, like, higher mana regularly. Okay, you're getting this rune. Oh, you're not getting this rune. That's unfortunate. You're gonna die here. That's unfortunate. Is there anything else you could have done differently here? You didn't see the Witch Doctor. Yeah, it's a little dangerous to, like, run down the river without emitting vision to this rune. I think if you... maybe, like, wand and then banish yourself, because this channel's a long time, 8 seconds, so I was like, maybe you can wait till it ends, but you really can't, especially once you get coiled. Yeah, maybe there's just nothing you can do other than just, like, not run down the river, you know? Like, maybe you just have to seed it because you don't have vision there. You know, I like that you're paying attention to the runes, though. It's just unfortunate that you had help. Getting yourself a ward down on the river is, like, really important, like, in the mid game, because, like, a lot of times your supports won't do it for you. So you go Witchblade now, so there's just, like, kind of delayed Witchblade. So, like, if you're gonna go this Witchblade, it's just better to get it earlier instead of this Midas. Like, if you're gonna go Midas, like, I feel like you just need to, like, skip the Witchblade and, like, go into, like, your next item, whether it be, like, some Blink to catch or, like, BKB to, like, really just start fighting them. I feel like Witchblade is just really good early, but if you have this Midas, like, I feel like you're just missing a big power spike of, like, the way you'd want to play this hero by, like, delaying this Witchblade until now. Like, you're just gonna hit kind of a... Like, the timing's just gonna be awkward. Like, you're gonna have the Witchblade, you're gonna be kind of strong, but, like, because you got this Midas first, it's not gonna be as strong as it would have been if it had been earlier. And then... like... and then it's just going to delay your next item at this point, whatever that next item is going to be. But I don't mind that you're kind of, like, showing up to these things now. Okay, so what exactly happened here? Maybe you did nothing wrong, and this is just sometimes what happens. You're jungling mid here. You've got to see a mid. Get a hook. Yeah, I don't think you did anything wrong here. The enemy just had, like, all 4 of their heroes up here. Puck's still mid, but they just had their other 4 heroes up here, which I wouldn't really expect for them to have. So with the vision you guys have, I don't think showing up to that was necessarily bad. It's kind of weird that they had, like, all 4 of their heroes, like, at their top jungle in front of their safe lane tier 1 tower at, like, 16 minutes. So I don't feel too bad about that death. So you're just looking to fight, keeping to these engagements. Okay, you get the Witch Doctor, you get the Drow, nice. Use your Midas, nice. And yeah, I think if you had just pressured mid more earlier, that it would be a little less awkward this game, because you like basically would have already had this mid tower if you just focus on pressuring it more early at like every opportunity that you had. Because basically you haven't pressured it at all, and as a result, like this tower is just never gonna die now. Because these towers, like especially like either one of these first two towers you want to take, the top tier one or the mid tier one, like they're important to try and take early if you can, and if for whatever reason you can't or don't like get them early, at a certain point they become pretty hard to take, like because the enemy becomes strong and like they are more willing to like react with 5 heroes later in the game versus like during the laning stage when everybody's still in their own lanes. So that's kind of partially why it's so important to apply the pressure early, because it just becomes harder now. So like, and like you don't need to like be a tower pushing hero to like pressure a tower, you know. And maybe that's what you think, but like definitely just look to pressure mid on like pretty much any hero you play. I mean, maybe I mean really just any hero. Like I don't care if you're playing freaking like Viper, like just casually right click the tower when you're really ahead, you know, shove it in the tower and like right click it, especially when their mid's not there, you know. Just so important. And I can just tell that you're not prioritizing it enough. Nice kill on the Drow. Okay, and you're gonna defensively use your W now. This is good TP as well. A little sad that your minus is not on, or that your minus is on cooldown, but that's life. Maybe you weren't looking the neutrals, but I think Aquila would have been nice to have here. I'm gonna go minus a creep. Nice. So at this phase in the game, you guys are like kind of strong, and you should be really willing to fight them, like with your items, right? And I want you to like be playing to like play for like one of these towers with your team. And if your team doesn't show up, then like, you know, you don't have to force it, but casually jungling like this when they still have their tier 1s up, I don't think is that good, because you're like not close to an item or anything. So like this doesn't progress the game. This just basically you as the mid hero, who are your team's top net worth, is like just off the map, not putting pressure on, and this is just bad. Like you can't do this really as a mid hero. Like when you're the strongest hero in the game, like you can't just take yourself off the map to casually jungle like this. This is just not an effective use of your time, and it just lets the enemy do whatever they want. Like what is the what is the enemy doing right now? Like you don't know. Like they could be, you know, they killed your Slark bottom, you know that. Drow's probably free farming, you know, they're like, they could have smoked the rest of the team and could be making a play, or they could just be spread out farming and like just farming really efficiently. And like just what you're doing applies no pressure, which I just don't like. I just want to see you as the strongest hero on your team, like look to be applying pressure. Unless you're specifically waiting for like some timing, which like you're so far away from your BKB that you can't really be waiting for that. And you know, you've got like a Husker on your team, right? Like who like in theory is like pretty strong at this phase in the game, like right now. So like your whole team should be kind of strong right now. So I just don't like that you were just like willing to like just chill and do nothing. Like I said, you don't need to force it if nobody on your team is gonna come help you. But yeah, the jungling I'm not a fan of. So what exactly happens here to lead up to this fight? I mean, this comes back to, like, honestly, what this comes down to is you did nothing for a long period of time, so the enemy got bored because they didn't have to, like, do anything, so they just decided to, like, group up and, like, run at you guys. And they, lo and behold, they find your Pudge. They might have been smoked, like, I don't know, but, like, they find your Pudge and get a good start to a fight. And this is happening, like they're doing this to you because you've just been jungling for the past like minute and a half or 2 minutes, right? Like nobody applied pressure top, nobody applied pressure mid. And this is what happens when you do nothing. They just get bored and like group up and run at you, right? They farmed everything there was to farm on their side, and they were like, all right, let's just go run at the enemy now. And you know, it works out. Sometimes they'll do that and it won't work out, but like, you know, their lanes are in a good spot. Like, they're not, mid's not getting pushed in for them. They've pushed in mid. Bottom is pushed in for them. They have nothing better to do than, like, run it down your guys' faces. And, you know, if it works out for them like it does here, then they're close to an objective that they can take. And your Slark dies. You know, they're in the perfect position, like now, for when you guys respawn to have complete control over the map. And just completely collapse the map on you guys and just make this game super hard for you. Wow, does Pudge actually kill this Drow? Oh, he doesn't. Oh, but the CM gets him at the end. Well, that's pretty important. Lucky for you guys, honestly. So yeah, see how you already got rid of a Null Talisman at 21 minutes? And like, you're not even using the stick either. That's why you kind of can't get away with like 3 Nulls and stick. There's too many slots in use. So you're jungling some more. Your ult's not up, so I guess I don't mind this too much right now. But, you know, now your ult's going to be coming up. And you guys are just, like, not looking to apply any sort of pressure at all. Like, you're just not playing the map. You're just playing the jungle, waiting for something to happen. And maybe you think you need a BKB to fight them at all. Which I guess is reasonable, honestly, based on how some of these fights are going. But, you know, like before this, like, I don't think you needed to wait that long. You are close to BKB now, though. Okay, so no, you can't do this. You win a fight. You win a fight. They have 2 supports alive. My man, you need to run at towers here. You need to run at towers. It's just it's just so imperative that you walk at a tower. Like, if you don't want to walk at top, like if you want to push out mid instead into the tower and hit this mid tower, I'm okay with that. Either one of these towers is okay. Jungling is not okay. Like, this is not okay right now. Like, I know you want to get your BKB. I don't care. They got 3 heroes dead for 30 seconds, dude. Like, your team's bad at pushing towers. Like, take advantage of these time periods and push towers, dude. Like, I don't care if you have this BKB, because now they're all going to be alive, and you can't just hit the tower just because you have a BKB, right? Yeah, now they're all respawning. So you just completely missed a window to, like, take a tower. Either one of these towers you could have taken, and you just applied 0 pressure, which is just unacceptable, honestly. Like, if you want to gain MMR, you care more about the towers. I know you said to mention, like, your play and mid-game fights. So, I'll take a look at the next fight. Honestly, like, your play and, like, whether you gain MMR or not is not going to come down to, like, how perfectly or optimally you, like, execute your team fights. It's going to be how well you set up for these fights to happen. Like, do you push the lanes in? Do you group up with your team? Are you, like, not jungling instead of being near your team or an objective? It's going to be based all more on that things, and I really don't care, and I don't think you should care that much about, like in terms of your overall improvement, like, about, like, your button pressing in team fights. Like, I don't think you've done anything, like, particularly egregious this game. Like, I would call it out if I said, like, oh, you're, like, taking this fight completely wrong. But, like, I just want to draw your focus more into, like, what fights are good to take versus not good to take in the first place. Because, like, if a fight is bad to take in the first place, then it doesn't matter how well you click your buttons, it was still a bad fight. Even if you win sometimes, like, it'd still be, like, bad that you chose to do it. Or sometimes if it's a good fight and you mess up your buttons, like, that's just life, right? It doesn't mean you shouldn't have taken the fight. It just means you can practice. So I want to kind of see... So you smoke... You guys smoke. So I don't... The smoke is reasonable, but also bad. So it's reasonable because your guys' lanes are kind of pushed in right now, and yet you don't have any towers. So instead of just walking up to a tower, you feel like you need to fight them and kill them before you can just take a tower. Presumably, that's what you're thinking. In that sense, it's, like, reasonable. However, your team is spread out right now. Your Slark is not with you, and your CM is not with you. And the most important thing, I say this a lot, if you watch some of my other coaching videos, but, like, at you know, 25 minutes plus, the most important thing of any fight at all that happens is that you take it with the knowledge that you are at least equal number of heroes to them. Like, what matters is who has more heroes at the fight. So you walking up here, and your punch doesn't even stick with you. So you're walking as 2 heroes, because your punch doesn't even follow you, into the enemy triangle. This also, I'm going to talk about the concept of, like, the map itself. Like, the triangle is the most defensive, safe area for them. If you walk into their triangle, you are saying that we want to take a fight where you are strongest, and we think we will still win. That's what you are saying by walking into the triangle. And if that's not what you thought when you did this, then I need you to never do this. Like, never walk into the triangle like this. It's just where they will take the most optimal fight, just based on how Dota works, and high grounds, and everything. Like, they're more likely to be able to connect from their close by towers. Your team does not connect well because you have nothing to TP to. All these factors mean that, like, taking a fight in or around their triangle is, like, hard for you guys, and you have to really, like, be super strong to make it work. So you're smoking into a bad place. You're not connecting with either of your other heroes that weren't in the smoke to begin with, and you're just not playing in the right part of the, like, you need to be looking to, like, take a play towards, like, this tower or this tower while you have your teammates with you, and your teammates just aren't with you, so this is just never gonna work. Like I don't care who you find right here, it's just not gonna work because your CM's not here and you guys are just really spread out. Also, don't... Okay, so I will talk specifically about kind of... You can call this teamfight execution. You cannot astral right away as OD. Like, you're not going Meteor Hammer, so, like, you're not setting anything up. So this is just a bad astral. Like, this Witch Doctor just dies if you right-click him 3 times. And you... Maybe you don't want to BKB for it, but, like, if you... Okay.
This'll come in handy.
So you find this guy, right? So if you hit him, and then you just step back a little bit, because Huskar's over here. So you just step back here, and that way he can't chain stun you guys together, and you and Huskar are both hitting this guy, he just dies. I mean, he's got a Shadow Blade, so I guess you would have needed Dust. Huskar has Dust, so he would have just died. And instead you astraled him, and this, like, kind of saves him. Look at, he gets away. That's very sad. And that's just because you astraled without thinking, I think. So if you're not going Meteor Hammer, you cannot start engagements on people you want to kill with astral. You just can't do it. And then the Witch Doctor gets away and ends up getting, like, all of his spells off. So that's part of why this engagement doesn't go well. So what ends up happening is your team does all, like, connect here, and their Drow isn't here, so you do have the numbers advantage. So this fight ends up going okay, even though it started poorly with, like, you all being spread out. You kind of did all collapse together, which is good. But the fact that this Witch Doctor got all the spells off actually was super impactful. Like, your Huskar wouldn't have gotten super low, and the Witch Doctor would have been dead, and you would have killed the Rubik anyways. So I guess part of this, I guess a decent amount of this team fight did come down to, like, your misplay of instantly astraling that Witch Doctor and basically saving him. I would be paying more attention to what's happening. Okay, so you're gonna TP back over here. So all I'll say about this TP is, like, I don't think it's bad that you want to reconnect with your team, but given that you have kind of time and you're, like, running away, like, I need you to look with your camera. Like, we're on your player view and you don't look. Like, just look. Because if you look at this, you're like, oh, yeah, maybe, like, I still want to show up to this. Because you're like, I still have BKB, I have my ult, you know, but, like, maybe you look and, like, your Pudge is about to die, and your CM, like, is going to be caught next, and, like, they're really strong. And then in that case, you, like, wouldn't want to TP in, right? Like, if these 2 heroes are about to die, and then Slark would be the only one left, like, in that case, you don't want to TP back over here. But, like, you didn't even look, so this ends up working. Well, I don't even know if it ends up working out. From what I saw, it wasn't too bad of a place to TP to, but, like, it could have been really bad. Okay, so you go for the ult. Don't really kill anybody with it. With the ABBA. It's like, I don't think it was too bad that you did end up showing up to this. I just don't like that you didn't look first, because that you didn't really know that it wasn't going to be, like, super trash to show up there. You just kind of got lucky. Okay, so again, you guys have sort of won a fight. You basically did win. You killed Rubik twice, so you basically killed 4 heroes for 2. Let's fast forward a little bit. This won't take too long. Okay, so you're not getting this drow. You guys are chasing this guy real far. This is a huge throw. Oh my goodness. Yeah, okay, so... like, as soon as this drow, like, kind of gets away, like, here... and like you guys didn't connect on the W, the Slark was a little bit in your way or whatever. As soon as you don't connect here, like you have to like recognize that like the chase is over. And like part of realizing this is that like, yes, killing him is important if you can, but like there are other things to do after you win a fight that are really important. Like pushing out the lanes and getting these towers. So this game is just not progressed at all for your team, partially because you guys like win fights and then you don't do anything productive with your time. So like here, you chase this drow. Before, you like jungled while they had 3 dead instead of push a tower. Do you die here? You don't even have TP up. I'm very scared for you. They're like respawning. Oh my god, you actually die here. And you die too. Yeah, this is just way too much chasing. So you need to have like a switch in your head of like, okay, this fight's over. The chase does not matter so much. Like it's okay that he gets away. Like let's pressure objectives. This tower. I can just tell you don't care about these and I need you to care more about them. So I kind of want to wrap this up soon because this is like most of what I wanted to talk. Like this is like, I think the key, like a lot of what we talked about will just like, it'll change how the game looks. Because at this point, what we're looking at is a game where you guys just aren't pressuring objectives at all, taking chases, not playing the right parts of the map, not taking advantage of when they're dead. So there's just not really a lot else to learn here that I feel like is productive, because I want the game to look different than it does right now, and I don't want to like tell you what to do in this situation. I want to tell you what to do when you're in a better situation than this, and you've like prioritized more of the towers, and like you can play the map better than you can play it when you have no towers at 30 minutes. You know, you said you guys ended up winning this, but like I almost don't care. You know, in terms of your learning, like I don't think a lot of what ends up happening here, like I can't imagine a lot of what ends up happening here is like impactful to like you being better at the game in the future. Like they kind of, like you guys just kind of play Brawl Dota and eventually are strong enough that like you just do take objectives. Because, like, here, they've got 3 dead. You also have 2 dead. But, like, you're just... like, I feel like you just hit a tower, right? Sam and Pudge sit behind you. They only have Abba and Puck. Like, you shouldn't be really afraid of those heroes. So, like, just go chip this tower, man. And instead, you're just gonna jungle some more while more heroes are dead. Yeah. And you're, like, your supports are, like, trying to pressure this tower desperately. And you just need to be here with them. So, yeah. I'm gonna cut off there. I don't want to reiterate too much because I feel like I said a lot of the same thing over and over already, but hopefully this is helpful to you, and you know, definitely look to pressure the towers a little bit more, you know, at all phases of the game, laning early after engagements, and like none of this jungling stuff when like you could be playing the map and like playing towards their objectives, and you know, specifically for OD, don't start engagements with Astral if you're not going Meteor Hammer. It's kind of more of a utility, not like a start the fight kind of thing. So yeah, man, hopefully that was helpful. Thanks for signing up.